Hello, everyone. This is my first family session role play. The instruction is to do this in 3 segments. I'm going to try to stick to that. For this role play, the family that is being discussed uh, is a mother, a father, a son, and a daughter. Um, so for my role play, I'm going to give these characters names. So the mother's name is Mary, father's name is John, the daughter is Jen, and the son is Joe. And so, in the first segment, it said, how would you begin the first meeting um, of laying out the goals and structure of the session? So, my first segment will start with um, hello, welcome. My name is Linda Uboti. I'm going to be the therapist that's working with your family. I did speak to you on the telephone to confirm the time and the date, and to make sure that everyone in your family member was going to be able to make it today. So I'm really glad that you guys are here, and it's nice to meet you, Mary, John, Jen, Joe. How are you guys doing? Please feel free to sit wherever you feel comfortable. Okay, so we're going to start today. This is our first session together. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit of what we're going to be doing. This is family therapy, which means uh, part of being here is each family member. I would appreciate it if everyone can participate. However, I know sometimes with family issues, sometimes someone has something to say when someone else is speaking. So I just want us to lay down the ground rules before we start. So if each person can give a ground rule to help our session move smoother, that would be appreciated. So, Mary, what do you think should be a ground rule for your family session today? Okay. So you would like to talk and finish what you're saying before someone else can say anything because you don't want to be interrupted. I think that's fair. I think that's something that each person can appreciate because I know I like to finish what I'm saying in order to make sure that the person I'm talking to hear me. So, John, what do you think? Oh, all right. So you want the same thing she's talking about to be able to finish your sentence and to be heard. Okay. I think that's something we can incorporate into the session. So, Jen, what do you think? Oh, so you agree with what your mom said to be able to finish your sentence. Um, okay. And Joe, what do you think a rule should be for our family session? Well, I get that too. Sounds like, you have a lot on your plate and you'd like the session to run smooth and be finished so you can go home. You know what? I agree with you. I don't think we should be here any longer than we have to. So these sessions usually run for an hour, but because this is our first session, it's probably going to be a little bit over an hour because we need to make sure that we get as much information about your family as possible. And make sure that everybody's heard and discuss what you think the problem is in your family so we can know what we're working on. We can lay kind of like a ground rule and lay structures so we don't have to continue to explain the same thing, or that when you come back next week, I don't have to ask you the same questions over and over. Okay? All right. So you want your family, all of you, to be able to talk and not be interrupted. So I guess that's very major to each family member here. Okay, all right. So we'll stick to that. All right. So why don't you each start by telling me, and I'll start with John. Uh, why are you here today? What brought you in? What do you think the family session um, is about today? So that will be my first session, just getting to know the family, getting to understand what their each individual take on the problem is, and getting to see how committed they are to being here and participating, and seeing if they'll follow their own ground rules. So we just lay out the structure, rules, get to know each other a little bit, kind of join with the family and also try to build rapport by paraphrasing, active listening, um, open-ended questions, just gathering information. A segment should be what might you say to interrupt any bickering or blaming. So an example would be, oh, well, John, it sounds like, you are very frustrated about the situation that's been going on. And you feel like Mary feels like she's the only one who's contributing to the family. And that can be overwhelming and intense at times, especially for you, since you said you have to avoid her when she comes from work. Wow. Oh, Mary, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to come to you. I was just trying to understand where John was coming from, trying to get his take on what the problem is. But after I talk to him, I'll make sure to come to you, and you can tell me how you feel about this. But for now, I'm talking to John. Are you finished, John? Okay. So, Mary, what do you see as the problem? Oh. Well, I guess this is what you guys were talking about, huh? Talking and not being interrupted and being heard. Okay. So, John, Mary allow you to talk. You all agree on what the rules should be. So now that she's talking, maybe we should hear what she has to say. All right. And if you have anything to add later, that's okay too. But for now, I think you should let her talk. All right. So that will be the third segment, the second segment. The third segment is how might you end the session, including by including homework. Wow, okay. It seems like our time is coming to an end, and I really appreciate it that you all were able to participate, that you were able to be here on time, that during this session you guys were able to agree on a couple of ground rules, and we struggled a little bit, but we got to it. So that I appreciate each family member trying really hard to do. So because our time is coming to an end, one thing I usually like to do is to, talk to my family about what are they hoping to get out of therapy by being here with the family? Where do you see yourself? Where is this headed? Why are you here? So I just start by going, and so we go over that again. Oh, okay. All right. So Mary, you want this. You want to be able to communicate with your family a little bit more. You want them to understand you. Oh, and you also want help at home. You know what? I can certainly appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. So you want help. You want to be able to communicate, and you want them to understand you. Am I getting that correct? So, John, where do you see this going? What do you want out of therapy for your family? Oh, okay. I guess. Okay. All right. So you're saying you don't want Mary to be as angry as she is. Your take is she's constantly angry and she's constantly blaming you. So you want to be able to communicate with her. You want to be able to help, but you don't know what to do. All right. That's something that we can definitely talk about. So, Joe, where do you see this? Well, so you want Jen to stop acting the way she's acting? I'm not sure how she's acting, and because time is fast spent, I really like to talk a little bit more about that. But it sounds like you're interested in Jen and what's going on with her, and it also seems like you want to be able to communicate with her too. So Jen, where do you? Oh, you don't know. Okay, that's fine too. That's something you can think about. And hopefully next week you'll be able to come up with something where you want your family to go from here and how do you see the session helping your family. One thing I want you guys to think about while you're leaving here today is, sounds like communication is very important to you. We want to be able to communicate with each other effectively. So maybe to think about what is it that you want to say to each other. Because next week, I think where we can start is just talking about communication. So in talking about communication, I think we already set a ground rule that one of it is talking and listening. and giving feedback and to see where we go from there. So I just want you to be able to just kind of watch the way you guys talk to each other during this week. And when you come back next week, we can talk about how communication will look like in your house. What do you want it to look like, each individual person? What are you hoping that at the end of all of this, that you guys will be able to do? How will you be able to communicate? What are you hoping for? Is what I'm going to ask you to do. So it's kind of like a homework, I guess, because you have to be able to pay attention to it. Okay? So thanks for coming in, and I'll see you guys next week on Thursday at 8 o'clock. All right.